everyone, it's Landon and Sandra outside with Gilligan. Looks like Gilligan is sitting at about 64, 65 degrees. So that's about 17-ish, 17, 18 degrees Celsius. Let's open him up and take a look at Gilligan. So we just opened up the lid. We see a few worms on the burlap. Landon noticed a few worms right on the edge here. Now, we have never known that worms have escaped out of Gilligan. I think that they're on the edge because they were probably exploring up in the lid, and when we opened the lid, they got caught out. Here are a lot more worms on the cardboard, and so they're obviously gathering up here on this cardboard that we've been using as sort of insulation. So I'm just going to be flicking this up into the lid, so that's going to put more worms up into the lid, but they'll be fine. So on this centerpiece of cardboard, which looks dry, no worms. All right, so this is Gilligan, and I'm just going to get my trowel and we'll dig in and take a look. So the last time I put food in here, it was that crushed bones from our bone broth mixed in with some of our veggie scraps. I'm seeing some really rich vermicompost here at the top, and obviously lots of worms in it. This looks like the dried bone-ish material here. So it was dry. When it comes out of the food processor, it's a lot drier than normal food scraps, but just look at the worms in it. My goodness. Now this is just our regular food scraps like tea leaves and avocado leaves, but with our crushed bones, as not our crushed bones, but bones from the bone broth. Wow, look at them in it. They love this stuff. So we are going to be giving them more of that today. And we're also going to be giving them some of our apples from our last 2021 or 2022 harvest that didn't make our fruit bowl. And so I'm going to just dig down a little bit in Gilligan, and then we will give them that apple feeding. So both Landon and I are remarking how many worms are in here, just in this center feeding zone. We figured out that those large white pieces, that off-white pieces that you're seeing, those are actually bits of cabbage that are hanging around. You can see some raw carrot peel hanging around, and hopefully see lots of worms. This is consistently where I've done most of the feedings for Gilligan. There's a piece of leek still hanging around. Lots of young worms. Gilligan has always had good breeding. The last 2 times we've run them, there's always been more worms coming out than going in, but just lots and lots of worms. Interest in the food. Now this indicates to me that, you know, the worms are still active in this area, so I am not going to feed in this center area at all. I'm going to find a new location, and probably it's going to be around the edges, because here's food they haven't even gotten into. So Gilligan is like any other system. You don't want to overfeed. So Landon and I decided not to feed Gilligan today. We worked in some dry shredded leaves. You see we pulled up some damp material from the bottom and put it on the top to let the moisture of that material soak through. And then we worked in some of our dry shredded leaves. So it's important for Gilligan to just work on what he's got right now. We're going to leave the lid off, and hopefully that will get the worms working all of this material. This is from the original egg cartons I put in back September. You see there's a little tiny baby worm in there. I don't know whether you're picking that up. Anyway, that's Gilligan for today. So we'll check back in a few days, and hopefully the worms will have worked through some of their old food and the material will start to be drying out a bit. All right, everyone, bye for now.